CCA may have just made their best IEM to date, and you won't believe how much it costs. $120. That's $120 for a CCA IEM. So what makes this particular set from a brand known for budget IEMs worth much, much, much more? And I'm going to tell you everything you need to know if you would like to buy this. This is the CCA Hydro review. Big thanks to CCA for sending over the CCA Hydro in exchange for my honest thoughts. All of my thoughts and impressions are of my own, and I was not paid or told to say anything. So everybody probably knows who CCA is. If not, well, it's a KZ sister company, very much known for the more sophisticated IEMs in their catalog, and I guess the CCA CRA is the most popular IEM. It revolutionized the budget scene like back in 2021, I think, when it's released. And this thing is nowhere near the price of the CCA CRA. This is $120. That's 8 CRAs. So is this worth 8 CRAs? It's a horrible analogy, but let's just get into the review, starting with the unboxing. The unboxing experience of the Hydro is very similar to other KZ or CCA sets, specifically the Rhapsody with the same black box and white print on the side with all of the information. The inclusions are your basic Starline ear tips, instructional manual, and tuning fork, but I would like to take the time to talk about the cable, as for an additional $10 of the base price of $120, you can get yourself an 8-strand 784 core silver plated cable. This is a surprisingly premium feeling and looking cable that is unlike anything that I've seen from KZ or CCA. And it makes the overall package truly feel like a flagship experience. It is a little heavy, but understandably so, as it is, 8 strands and 784 cores after all. Also, the lack of a chin cinch is quite disappointing, but the cable itself is very good. Starting with the internals, the Hydro features a 2-dynamic driver and 8 balanced armatures. The shell is quite large and is similar to the CCA Rhapsody, which also means it's not the most comfortable IEM, especially for people with smaller ears. The size makes sense due to the driver configuration, but if you have small ears, tough luck trying to get this to fit into your ear. The seal is quite good, but induces air pressure buildup. If you're not sensitive to this, the Hydro would be a wonderfully sealing IEM, but if you are, I pray for your ears as you put these in. Jokes aside, its overall construction is very similar to other KZ or CCA sets and doesn't feel flagship in that way, and they made sure that the flagship part is all on the internals. So talking about the sound, this has a total of 5 official tuning modes, and I'm going to be talking about the all-up or the 1111 configuration, as it is the one that comes stock with the IEM. I will be talking more about the other configurations later in its own section. But for the sound signature, the CCA Hydro is their, tried and tested Harman bass boost sound signature. If you've tried their older sets in the last few months, the Castor bass, the Rhapsody, the Trio, if you've tried any of those, well, this is basically the most refined version of it, with the big but surprisingly clean and tight bass, a little lean but very clean sounding mid-range, and a very forward, sparkly, energetic upper mids to treble region with surprisingly good air and resolution. We'll talk more about it very soon. So starting with the bass, this is boosted, it is big, it is booming. Just kidding, it's not that very big booming, even though the graph looks like it might be. It's just very cleanly done in a way that doesn't sound intrusive at all. It balances out the mid bass and sub bass decently well for a Harman bass stock IEM. I still don't like how little the texture is for the mid bass, which is usually the problem that I find in these IEMs. And in the Hydro's case in particular, I really didn't feel too engaged with the texture and the tactility of the bass, but it is very punchy and engaging and goes decently deep for most tracks to really sound quite deep. So I can at least give the Hydro this for being so clean with good definition without really sounding intrusive, despite lacking a little bit of texture and tactility. And moving into the mid-range, as you might expect from a Harman bass boost, the lower mids are meh. It's not really that interesting to listen to, in my opinion. It's clean. It's really, as like I said, it's non-intrusive, but it tends to sound a little distant, a little bit pushed back, a little bit on the background compared to the rest of the mid-range. So bass guitars, male vocals, it's okay. It's audible, but it's not really lively or organic sounding. Where it is very good though is the upper mids. This is where it truly shines, quite literally, because it's very sparkly, better and very energetic and very, very forward. It is a little bit shouty if you are sensitive to this region, but I found this to be absolutely wonderful and surprisingly good for even orchestral tracks, instrumental tracks, vocal tracks, just because of how clean the upper mids are done here. Very nuanced, very snappy sounding. It doesn't sound muffled or recessed in any way. It just sounds so clean, and I loved the upper mids on this thing. And moving on to the treble, well, as you might expect for a CCA set, it is bright, but not ridiculously bright, as a matter of fact. Based on, I guess, the marketing materials, they're using a different driver for the balanced armatures here compared to their other sets. This is similar to the ones used in ZS10 Pro 2 and the Rhapsody. And one of my comments with both of them, well, not one comment, but my comments for both of them, is that the treble is really not like any of the other KZ sets that they've had before. It is bright, it is a little metallic sounding, but it doesn't sound heavily sharp or edgy. And I really like that, and it translates to the Hydro really well. It is bright. I'm not gonna deny that, but it's not sibilant. It is hot. It's not for treble sensitives, but for treble heads who want a little bit of a clean, a little bit metallic sounding, but very sharp and snappy with good details in the treble, the Hydro is wonderful. It is well, I guess if you're sensitive, it's fatiguing, but it's not fatiguing in a sense that over long periods of time you won't really feel this stabbing sensation, or you won't feel your ears to be exhausted. At least that was my personal experience. And as for the technicalities, this is the best technicality or technically performing CCA IEM to date that I've tried. Whoop-de-doo, $120, it has to be that way. And it really is. So it's justified, very good separation, very clean, even in the low end, which is usually the struggles for these kinds of IEMs. But I really like the separation on the upper frequencies though. It's very clean, very crisp, very accurate. Stage isn't really the most expansive. Good layering though. Good layering, good imaging, really good imaging. I tried using this for gaming, very, very good. Resolution is great. Tactility and dynamics, not the best. I kind of got disappointed by that, but whatever, it's fine. It's a decently technical and the most technical CCA IEM to date, so props to them. Compared to the other tuning configurations, let's start with the all down or all off configuration, and this is basically the untucked version, more V-shaped version of the KZ Harman bass boost. The bass is admittedly on the muddier side, but smoothens the treble in turn. It takes a hit on the overall cleanliness and separation ability of the bass, and has the tendency to bleed into the mid-range. The up, down, down, down configuration pushes the bass up very slightly from the all down configuration. Not that big of a change in my opinion, but slowly starts becoming a bass headset. The up, up, down, down configuration is basically the bass head setting for the Hydro. Very deep and engaging bass that is honestly perfect for hip-hop and other bass-heavy genres. If I were a bass head, this would be my favorite tuning. Otherwise, it's quite muddy and bloated sounding in my opinion. The down, down, up, down configuration is close to the all up configuration, but takes the bass slightly down, similar to the up, down, down, down configuration, but in reverse. Not that big of a difference from the overall setup. The down, down, up, up configuration is the treble head setting, aka my favorite setting. Due to the tuck in the lower mids, however, I didn't enjoy this setting as much because the treble sounds a little metallic, also the mid-range sounds a little thin and stale, but it is the most sparkly and energetic tuning and the most fitting for classical instrumental or vocal related genres. The up 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 down configuration is not listed in their advertisements, but it is arguably the best setting that balances the bass energy from the all down setting with the energetic down down up up setting. Basically the most balanced setting out of all the tuning modes. Moving on to the comparison, starting with the CCA Rhapsody, this is basically a direct upgrade and a different flavor of the Rhapsody at the same time. The Rhapsody is a bigger, deeper, and more scooped V-shaped with a deeper tuck compared to the Hydro, which makes more sense as it is more fun sounding. The Hydro has better refinement and a more technical sound in every single way compared to the Rhapsody. Compared to the CCA Trio, the Hydro is considerably more technical and refined compared to the Trio, with better dynamics, resolving ability, and a smoother treble, but I personally still prefer the Trio's more generous bass to mid-range tuning that doesn't tuck as hard as the Hydro. Still, Hydro better overall. Compared to the Celeste Phoenix Call, the Phoenix Call has a more bodied sounding mid-range with better vocal balance and better separation and layering, but the Hydro has better extension on both the bass and the treble. The Phoenix Call also sounds less metallic than the Hydro in the treble and overall timbre. Compared to the SIMGOT EM6L, the SIMGOT EM6L sounds smoother and more refined while keeping it bright compared to the Hydro, but the Hydro has a more engaging and fun sound. Both have mediocre bass detailing and texture, but the EM6L has better detail and a slightly cleaner separation and layering. And lastly, compared to the SIMGOT EA500LM, the EA500LM sounds more natural despite sounding brighter and sharper than the Hydro. The bass sounds considerably more dynamic and textured sounding on the EA500LM and is just overall more technical sounding. And to finally conclude, yeah, the Hydro is really the best CCA IM in 2024. It really genuinely is the best version of the Harman bass boost that they've started all the way since the Castor Bass Enhanced Edition. And well, I guess in a way, they've really refined this kind of sound, and this could be the new KZ sound or the new CCA sound. However, I have to admit that this isn't the most competitive or the most high value IM you can get. If we put this into a vacuum, this is an amazing IM and I loved listening to this every single moment of it. But you think about the price and you think about the competition and you think about what they offer. CCA made a very safe IM that caters to those who really like this kind of sound signature, but is basically just like any other CCA IM. Accessory wise, you get basically what you get from like $20 CCA or KZ IMs. Appearance wise, this is basically the Rhapsody inner shell that's modified to fit the Hydra's internals. Faceplate, again, please get rid of that calligraphy. And fundamentally speaking, it may be a good sounding, well performing IM, but it doesn't stand out. That's just a fundamental problem with it. But I really have to give CCA the props of actually kind of improving, no, not kind of, but really improving their sound, especially after all of the attempts that they've had before. This is probably the best implementation of the Harman bass boost that they've been doing. And again, gotta give them some props. And I'm really hoping that they move forward with this, or they try something else. Maybe do something with the Symphony. Otherwise, great IM. If you really like the older KZ sets or the CCA sets, this is a good IM for you. Or if you want something safe, this would be a great IM for you. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching my review on the CCA Hydro. Did you like the video? Please consider liking this video. I have a lot more to talk about. I have a lot of stuff actually in my backlogs right now. I'm not going to say what they are, but Dunu Falcon Ultra Titanium Meteorite Edition, I literally have so much to talk about it because of just the name alone. But yeah, if you want to watch that or you want to watch more of my content, consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Check out my socials. I post more frequently now. Join the Discord if you want to talk. Chilling, binge chilling. What else? Oh, Audio Notions, of course, and join Forsaken Audiophiles on Facebook. And with that, Obi Audio out.